If I told you that a Shopify apparel brand went from roughly 23 organic clicks per day to nearly 600 clicks per day, what would you assume happened? Maybe they spent a fortune on ads. Maybe they hired a massive SEO agency. Maybe they built hundreds of blog posts. Maybe they bought backlinks. The funny thing is, none of those were the reason. In fact, one of the biggest discoveries I made while working on this store had nothing to do with what most people think SEO is. And that's exactly what I want to show you in this video. Because over the last couple of years, I've worked directly with a Shopify apparel brand that made this journey. When I first looked at the account, the store was averaging somewhere between 23 and 28 organic clicks per day. Today, it's approaching 600 clicks per day. More importantly, sales increased as well. Now, before I show you what I found, if you're running a Shopify apparel, fashion, or clothing brand and you'd like me to personally review your store, I've included a link below where you can schedule a free Shopify organic growth assessment. I'll take a look at your store and identify opportunities that could help improve visibility and growth. Now let's get into it. The first thing I noticed when I reviewed the store was something that I see all the time. Products weren't bad, the website wasn't terrible, the owner wasn't lazy, the business wasn't broken. In fact, I remember looking at the account and thinking, this store should be doing better than this. And that's an important lesson. Most stores don't have a product problem. Most stores don't even have a traffic problem. They have a visibility problem. Customers cannot buy from a store they never discover. That idea completely changed how I approached this project. Most people immediately start talking about blogging, backlinks, technical audits, AI content. And while those things can have a place, that's not where I started. I started by asking a much simpler question. How are customers actually searching? The answer ended up revealing one of the biggest opportunities in the entire store. At the time, the store had products, the store had collections, but it didn't have enough opportunities to be discovered. Let me give you an example. Imagine a clothing store has a collection called dresses. That's fine. But customers don't usually search for dresses. They search for black dresses, summer dresses, maxi dresses, cocktail dresses, formal dresses. And every one of those searches creates a potential opportunity to appear in Google. That's when I realized one of the biggest growth opportunities wasn't creating more blog content. It was expanding and improving collection pages. That became one of the major focuses moving forward. I started identifying additional collection opportunities. I looked for gaps competitors were missing. I researched buyer intent keywords, not traffic keywords, buyer keywords. There's a huge difference. A keyword can generate thousands of visits and still produce very little revenue. I'd much rather target searches that attract people actively looking for products. As I continued working through the store, I also found opportunities to improve internal linking. Many stores treat pages like islands. Nothing connects. Nothing reinforces the relationship between collections and products. Google has a harder time understanding the structure. Customers have a harder time navigating. Fixing those relationships created additional opportunities throughout the site. But here's something that surprised a lot of people. One of my recommendations had nothing to do with traditional SEO. I recommended investing in better product photography and video content. Most apparel brands use the exact same supplier photos as dozens of competitors. When every store looks identical, trust becomes harder to build. Differentiation becomes harder to build. Conversions become harder to improve. The client invested in custom photography, they invested in custom videos, and the entire shopping experience became stronger. That's something I think a lot of SEO professionals overlook. SEO doesn't exist by itself. Traffic is only one piece of the puzzle. Your website still needs to convince people to buy. Over time, these improvements started compounding. Traffic increased, then it increased again, then it increased again. At first, the growth was gradual, then it became obvious. The screenshots you're seeing on screen show that progression. From roughly 23 to 28 clicks per day to under 100, then several hundred, then over 500, and now approaching 600 organic clicks per day. And what makes me happiest about this project isn't the traffic, it's the fact that the client also reported positive growth in sales and overall business performance. Because rankings don't pay the bills, traffic doesn't pay the bills, business growth does. Looking back, the biggest lesson I learned from this project is that most Shopify store owners are focusing on the wrong things. They're looking for shortcuts. They're looking for hacks. They're looking for some secret strategy. Meanwhile, some of the biggest opportunities are already sitting inside their stores. Collection pages, keyword targeting, internal linking, store structure, product presentation, customer experience, the fundamentals, done consistently over time. Those are the things that create extraordinary results. If you're running a Shopify apparel, fashion, or clothing brand, and you'd like me to personally review your store, I've included a link below where you can schedule a free Shopify organic growth assessment. I'll take a look at your store, identify growth opportunities, and help you determine whether SEO could become a meaningful acquisition channel for your business. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.